what a reaction. Will be a hard time. So, hopefully the computer works now, because I need it. Good thing that you cannot see my password. Okay, so it seems that we have sound. Yeah, it's hard to start a talk when the introduction talks about a revolution. And our claim, in fact, is reading reimagined. So I thought, of course, not everybody knows Spritz. I hope a few of you already seen Spritz before. Before I get into some details, I thought, you know, I'm a lazy guy, so I just thought, make a movie, make a video, show it to you. So enjoy the video for 3 minutes, and then we'll get into details. So I hope this was not only politeness, I hope you really get it. You get the content? So you are reading faster than normal, a lot faster than normal, without even a learning curve. Normally I tell people in the beginning, look at the red character and relax. You didn't even need it that. Yeah? You get it. That's the funny thing about Spritz. You don't really need to learn to read faster. So, now it should work. So how Spritz started? How did we get into this idea of Spritz? And there's an easy example. around 130 years ago, man invented the combustion engine. And what we did is we mounted the combustion engine on a horse buggy. Yeah, that was the first idea. So there was a new invention, and we just implemented it into the existing system without changing the system. And I think everybody understands that the horse buggy was not really the perfect car, so we needed some evolution afterwards to get to the cars we are driving today. And the funny thing is we make these steps of evolution, so we made that several times, and it's the same with reading. We have these great smartphones, and what we are doing, we are reading the same way as we are reading since 2,500 years, 4,000 years. But we have new use cases. We are pulling out the phone 150 times a day. We did not do it 2,000 years ago. There are new requirements. I'm absolutely sure that when an Egyptian 4,000 years ago was sitting there with his stone tablet and said, oh, I will invite writing now, he did not have a smartphone on his requirements list. But we just do the same thing. So new use cases, new requirements. We have new degrees of freedom if we just need a small display. And we have small displays. We have these smartwatches now. The wearables are coming. They have small displays. Normally, these stone tablets are really large. So the question is, why are we imitating the stone tablets with digital devices? So, and this was the idea of Spritz. So what is Spritz? It's a text streaming technology, and it's integration into modern communication. So it's an enabler for better reading on all these small devices, on wearables, in mobile situations. Of course, if you're sitting at home, if I'm sitting at home Sunday morning, drinking my coffee, I want to have my newspaper. But this is more than just information I want to get. I want to get the whole feeling, the situation of reading. When we are spritzing, we are talking about getting information fast. Oh, my phone is ringing, I just get, oh, there's a breaking news, I want to read it. Or I have to go through this email before the meeting. This is getting information quick and get it where I am, so in a mobile situation. Spritz as well we are not an app, and we are not an app producer. We produce the software development kit. We produce the kit so that for web, for iOS, for Android, so that developers can integrate Spritz into their applications. These people know about how to create a newsreader. They know how to create email readers. They can integrate this technology wherever it's useful. So Spritz is simply a better way to read on mobile and wearable devices. It's not, we are not replacing reading, so no worries. We're extending reading. If you have ever been sitting on a middle seat in an airplane and you had your newspaper with you, you've seen that space is a really important requirement. So we want to bring reading in new use cases with new requirements. We want to make this possible on the wearables in the mobile world. So just a few words about the technology of Spritz. You've seen, normally you don't have to explain anything. It simply works. That's the funny thing. What's behind it? What you're seeing is, you can see a maximum of 13 characters really sharp. All the rest you cannot see sharp, and therefore we have saccades. So we hop with the eye from one point to the next. So therefore, the Spritz display is small. We show 13 characters max, so that your eye will not start hopping around. So you don't have to saccade, so that it's easier because you just look at one single point. And when we read, we are not scanning characters in a row. We are not scanning every character. We hop with the eye to a specific point. We call it the optimal recognition point. To this point in a word, and we take the whole word as a unit. And here is the big difference between these old technologies, these RSVP, rapid serial visual presentation, that was already the word was horrible. That's an old technology where they showed you one word at a time, just like Spritz. But what they did is they positioned the word, they centered the words. So that means that what we showed here was a red character was moving around, so you had to move your eyes. So you were saccading while reading this way. And this is exhausting and it takes time. And with Spritz, we arrange the words to the optimal recognition point so that you just look at one single point and you can read. Yeah? Relax. You look at one point and the text is streaming to you. That's the idea about Spritz. Of course, the dwell time differs from word to word. Perhaps you have recognized it, perhaps not, but the words are not shown for the same duration. So shorter words are shown for a different time than longer words, so the rhythm is very important. You need the right speed, you need the right rhythm to read it smoothly. And therefore, we started with 250 words a minute, and it was no joke, that really hurts. That's not the optimal speed. There's a comfort speed for everybody. Of course, reading too fast is not good for your comprehension, of course. I know a few people who are able to read 1,000 words a minute. I'm not that smart, absolutely not. But some people can do. Some other people, like me, for example, I read at 400 words a minute. Hey, that's almost double speed than normal, so that's enough for me. And this is my comfort zone. So find out your comfort zone where you're reading the best and where your comprehension really is high. So the technology is just a text streaming which is optimized for dense representations. I want to see people with other technologies when they read on their smartwatches. Have you ever tried to scroll an email on a smartwatch? That's great because, you know, your finger is in the way. Yeah? It's not only that the display is small, you even hide most of the display with your finger. So this is not the way to read. And I read my emails on my smartwatch, and it works. And that's really great. Yeah? You just get a notification, you have a short look, 10 seconds, and you've got your email. So this is what wearables is about. Think about Google Glass. Think about all these augmented reality applications. Do you want to have text streaming that way through your glasses all the time? It will be harmful. So what is the impact of Spritz? It's a faster reading for must-read content. As I said before, I don't want to take away your Sunday morning reading or laying in bed for the last half hour of the day and enjoying a good book, enjoying a Shakespeare novel. Of course, this is not something for Spritz. Spritz is for the must-read. Spritz is for mobile situations, for the emails you have to take in quickly because you have to read your emails. And normally these texts are simple texts. Yeah? This is not Shakespeare-like. The impact is an efficient reading on wearables. I cannot see another possibility at the moment how to read on these small displays. Yeah? So of course, if I have lots of space, it's easy to read the conventional way, but I don't have it on wearables. When we talk about a dense display, we can integrate text to pictures, to maps, to augmented reality. You see it here at the right side. There's a Google Maps. There's a map with just some text on top. So you can integrate both things. For example, in augmented reality, that gives you new opportunities. This is what I talked about in the beginning about new degrees of freedom. You can integrate both things. And this is really something special. There was a UNESCO study coming out a couple of months ago, reading in the mobile era. So this was about what smartphones can do in developing countries. And of course, this is a huge movement. So people start reading. You can really bring more information to people, but just on a small phone. Yeah, how to read on a small phone? With Spritz, it's easier. You can take in information quicker. So the impact is, we think it's a game changer for content providers and for end users. And I just got one more slide, because there's one other thing that Spritz can do. This is a visualization of how dyslexic people see text. I know there are a lot of different types of dyslexia, and this is just a visualization. But in general, people are distracted by too many words on top, below, so they're distracted when there are too many words at the same time. And when we were developing Spritz, there was the assumption that Spritz could help, that Spritz could be helpful for people suffering from dyslexia. Why? If you just look at dyslexia shops, you see that they're selling these like rulers where you can blind out the top lines and the bottom lines so that you can concentrate on the line where you're reading at the moment. And this is exactly what we call it the Spritz radical, what the Spritz radical does. It focuses your vision to one single word. So we thought that could be helpful for people. So far, there is no scientific study on that. So no evidence, no hard evidence, but we get a tremendous feedback from the community, from people trying this, from dyslexic people reading with Spritz. There are a few apps around already using the Spritz technology, and it works. So I just want to show you one comment that we've got a couple of days ago. And of course, I will Spritz it to you. I think that tells more than I can tell about what it could be for dyslexic people. So look at the red character and relax. So if you get, thanks a lot. So if you get feedback like that, simply you have to deliver, and we will do. So we will bring this technology, so we already brought out SDKs, we will improve it. Android is still missing, it will come in a couple of days. So we really, if you get such encouraging messages, you really have to deliver. So in a couple of days, I hope there will even be more SDKs, and so there will also be more apps that you can try out. Thanks a lot.